Hey everyone, good to see everyone again today. It's Friday, 11 a.m. Mountain. We go live every weekday. We look at the energy of the day and we also look at anything you want answers to, anything about your gifts, new gifts coming in, struggles, blocks, health, and more. So just comment below any questions, whether you're watching this now live or you're watching the replay. There's always a way for you to ask a question. And a lot of people don't know this, actually. We have a Facebook group, the Intuition Playground. And I noticed there were people like, oh, I really wish I could make it live, but I can't make it live. Well, did you know that you can actually send in a question ahead of time or even after the fact, and we can get to it on the next broadcast? So there's 3 ways to do that. You can do it in the comments after the show. You can message our Facebook page, which is actually like the best way probably if you have a Facebook account, because some people might be watching this on YouTube. Or you can email us, and the email address is in the description of this post. So anyway, that's a really great option we have a lot of viewers that watch the replay. So, please do that and we can definitely address that. And even if you can't think of a question, like some people are like, just, give me a general reading. We had a couple of those yesterday. So, this is something fun, and it's something to help you as well, like with real life. So there's practical application. So anyway, we've got some viewers on already, ready to ask their questions. And so before we get to those, let's go ahead and look at the daily energy. So let's do it, Martina.
And I got to say, like, I could feel this one was coming in a little big, especially after some of the stuff I picked up yesterday. I'm like, I'm going to look at this right before. So I've actually been looking at the energy for a few minutes, just kind of getting a few of the pieces so that I could kind of give some of the overview here. So yesterday, if you were on or if you did not hear, I could see, so we've been experiencing a little bit of this lull energy that I've been talking about. A lot of self-reflection, lull. But yesterday I saw some like storm clouds, like energetic storm clouds. Oh, sorry, my heater came on and shut my door. But energetic storm clouds rolling in. And they're a little bit electrical, which just means that there's a little bit more intensity in the way that I'm seeing it. Those clouds are still rolling in, a little bit bigger. So there's something, I don't want to be all like, there's something coming, but that really is like, those clouds are like kind of forming almost energetic funnel clouds. Like it looks like there's going to be a little bit of stormy bumps coming. When I look at the energy of the people and like kind of the collective on the closer to like the ground and what's going on, what I'm seeing is it reminded me of like parched and thirsty land. Like, so I could see that people are just like reaching up like, help me. I'm looking for answers. I definitely had a lot of sensations through the mouth there. So it was just like, I'm just parched. Please give me something. I'm just looking for, I'm seeking for answers. I'm looking for comfort, whatever that it is that the person is going through. I'm just feeling it, seeking and reaching up. Definitely kind of that parched feeling, that even symbolically, you got parched land, you got a storm rolling in. So there could be some great things that come from that, right? Like when there's a drought or when the land is thirsty, you get rain, be very good. But sometimes storms can bring 2 aspects. So I feel like absolutely everyone who's calling for help and reaching up, heaven will answer. We will receive. But because of just the nature and the duality that can be in a storm, there can be good things. Sometimes there could be a challenging thing, right? Like it may not be exactly what we think maybe we're asking for something and it doesn't show up exactly the way we think it should be. But it can still show up. It can show up through a lot of different ways. And so if it's a storm, it could be through something else that could just shake a perspective a little bit or give you a new piece of truth and understanding, just a new skill, new whatever to help you, strengthen you to overcome whatever that is. So the answer is still being given. It just may not be in the help, save me kind of, if you're looking for saving, it may come through another opportunity to learn and grow. But then also, and then around all of this, so it's like this storm and all this going on here. But then there's like a very enveloping kind of a pink magenta opalescent, very soft and loving frequency and energy through the air. And so it feels like all of this is going on, and don't worry, we're wrapped up in a big giant hug. So there is still some comfort and strengthening through that. No matter what's coming, it's there. So just if you're feeling any of these things, just know that you're not alone. You're hugged, you're loved. Like, try to tap into that a bit more and just go, okay, I'm protected, I'm safe and loved in this enveloping, loving energy that is coming. Like, I just feel heaven, and like it's very, like, I mean, obviously I believe that our Father in heaven, our God, is totally invested and he loves us. But it's like, I just really see a lot of angels and loved ones who have passed on the other side of the veil. Like, so many are just truly invested on what's going on the earth right now. And they're just really here and available and loving us and supporting us, just knowing that there's a lot of growth going on. And so you can lean into that and not feel alone.
That is a beautiful message. All right, let's dive into some questions. Okay, let's go with Elena first. Would you mind looking into the energy around my left breast and left hand? Oftentimes they prickle and sting. I think it is energetic, but I'm having a hard time getting an idea of how.
Okay. I'm curious, Elena, do you have any lung issues? Do you have any asthma or anything in your lungs? I don't know if you can answer that in time while I'm looking at this energy, but I'd be really curious. Just because I'm seeing some kind of connection with this part of your body and also your mouth and throat, like not getting enough oxygen, not breathing in enough. I am also seeing...
She says, not that I know of, about the lungs.
So there's just some like tensing up, like I'm seeing some muscles, and it would feel even concerning, like even the left breast. I mean, because that's even kind of near the heart. And so some of these muscles that I was seeing, so I was thinking it might be lungs, because it's just, I can just see the strands almost like on this muscle. Yeah, there is something still with the lungs though too. As I said that, I'm like, I'm still seeing lungs. Okay, hold on. Let me just draw this out for a minute. Just. Okay. So there's two main things that are coming up. One of the first is that I would recommend doing some very specific stretches around this. So I call these stretches like to stretch your wings out. And I feel like your wings, all your wing muscles are feeling cramped up. So to remind you what some of the wing muscles are is like here in your chest, like your chest muscles come like this direction. And so you really want to open it, stretch them out against like a doorway or whatever. Like, make sure those are nice, massage them, find out where the sensitive spots are, because I can see it already. You got a lot of tension right here, especially if people work at a computer or they're kind of inward like this physically, then their muscles can start to kind of atrophy and get really tight and bound up right there. So I feel like doing some really good massaging, pinch them, squeeze them, just like open it up, get your wings nice and open. Then if you think about the back, some of those wings as well. So you can kind of do some stretches, getting behind like your little angel wings there. Then also under here, make sure you get your lats. So kind of lean down and stretch. But it just feels like there's a lot of some physical things that are binding you up. Make sure you get those in. And then accompanied with that, the second thing I'm really seeing is the breathing. There's just some breathing that I'm just seeing like, oh yeah, my lungs are fine. But if you were to look at your lungs, have like, oh, where's my camera? Like this much capacity, you're only like using like this much. So you got this much and you're going like, oh, sure, my lungs are working great. Yeah, they're working, but you have all the way down here and you're not fully taking in all that you can inhale and breathe and expand. So I would expand that chest and the lungs to it. The way that it, like you said, Can you put her question back up again? I want to just see the verbiage on how she described it. Oh, the prickle and sting. Yeah. So because I've had some of this prickle and spring sting, so it's kind of reminding me of that. But like, so those things will totally help. And then I would actually extend some of even the massaging down. So you got your wings and then even down into your arm. Follow like the tricep in the back, massaging those down, go into the forearm and go all the way down, even into the wrist and out through the fingers. There's just a lot of little breaks in the way that it's communicating. And it's stemming from this part of your body and your lungs, like not being able to stretch and get it all. Emotionally, some of the things there are around wanting to say the right thing, not wanting to make a mistake. Maybe you've had people or experiences or child or upbringing or something where you feel like you have to walk on eggshells and watch very carefully what you say. Like even that, I just want to breathe deep through it. So there's something about like that you're trying to really almost monitor and micromanage what you're saying a little too closely because of that. Oh, okay. If it gets triggered when you work on people, then that just tells me you're getting some energy flowing up and it's just getting blocked. So you got to really massage it and open it all the way up. And also too, applying those same thoughts to this scenario. Are you worried that you're doing it wrong? Are you sitting there going, am I doing this right? Am I working on someone right? Like, do you have any of those self-doubting, kind of micromanaging or controlling thoughts around what you do or what you say? Could it be showing? Where is it showing up and how is it blocking any of your freedom there? So, okay, let us know how that one goes. That was cool. I could relate to some of that. My body was like, oh yeah, I know that pain.
Okay, next we have Ginger. She says her throat feels super raw, almost constantly with bumps in the back of it, and I have swollen glands almost all the time. Do you have any ideas as to what this may mean?
Do you have any known allergies, Ginger? I'd be really curious. I like asking long questions. I like live because on some of these types of things, because then people can tell me what's going on. But like instantly, I'm just getting that your system is rejecting something, which whether that be something in the air that you're breathing or pet allergies or food allergies, like something isn't there. But it actually feels like it could even be. This is kind of an interesting concept to introduce if you're not familiar with it, but you can actually have allergic reactions to things like ideas or thoughts or just your environment or a situation that you're in. Your body can react like it's like, I can't stand this. And then you totally can break out in all these allergic reaction symptoms. And it's simply a belief or an idea or a situation and environment that you're in. So I'm food sensitivity. So I would think I would check on that. And then what else is there in there? Let's look at the emotions of that. Food sensitive. Okay, so I'm seeing some of these like little strands of like beliefs coming up into the head where the world doesn't feel safe. So there's something, I mean, this can even go back with some childhood. I'm seeing kind of the sweet nature side of you. It's like really just wanting wherever it is, like you want to do good. You want to get good grades. You want people to like you, like just that very sweet nature. But then I'm seeing just things go wrong, or it just feels like the world is scary or situations are going to happen. Maybe you did get hurt in some way. Is there something about people? Like I was going to say, it's more people feeling unsafe than necessarily like environments. Like maybe it's not okay or safe to be completely you and just to be able to put it out and very sensitive to your environment. Yeah, it just feels like things feel very threatening. So one of the best things that I could do, because sometimes you cannot control other people. I mean, obviously you have some control of your environment, right? Like the people you surround yourself with in your environment. But if this is an overall theme, then there's only so much controlling your environment that you can do and still feel safe. So this can just be coming from internally. Like I'd say, like unleash your inner warrior Like, be strong, girl. Like, let it out. Listen to some music that's super strong and empowering. Like, one of my favorite songs, like, listen to like Bishop Briggs. I don't know if you like that artist, but listen to like the song Champion by Bishop Briggs. Because, like, I mean, something like that, where it's like the strong woman energy, and harness and tap into the strong woman that is inside of you. Because it's not that, sometimes there's things that are around that are going to feel scary, and just keep healing yourself to know that, you know what, scary things, I can do scary things. I can overcome. I am strong. Like, I can do these hard things. I can eat them for breakfast and still heal and be better and overcome and stuff. So I know you got that side in you. I can see a little bit of spunk and fire, but it's just like trying to be too polite. It's just flowing. I'm sorry, but it's like, I'm trying to be really polite and kind and nice. And it's like, sometimes there's a place to be bold and strong and courageous, and to hold those boundaries and whatever it is, and to speak your mind, and to just be who you are. And it's okay. And you don't have to feel like you have to, make sure that it's navigating through minefields. Like, sometimes you are the minefield. You are the one that can blast the mines away. So let me know how that goes. I love working with fire energy, but I feel like there's some untapped fire energy that can help. Oh, this is actually something I do whenever I'm feeling allergies come in really strong. I actually do fire things, like listen to the music that I just explained to you. I also will drop cassia essential oil in my mouth. It's a little bit like cinnamon, and it's like fire in my mouth. I drink hot herbal tea or hot soups, and I just drink heat. I go out in the sun, or I've even gone to like a tanning bed when I just needed heat. And it's like in the middle of winter, I'm just like, I just got to have heat. Like, give me the bulbs, give me the light and the heat. So I would say, and there's all different kinds. You could do a sauna or whatever, like apply heat. And that can help with the allergies when you're feeling the weaker things with it. So, oh yeah, you go, girl. Mm-hmm. Hey, look, I'm still wearing my workout clothes, so that fits. So,
Okay, awesome, Ginger. Thank you. Okay, Alicia. She says, do you see the adversary trying to bombard me now that I am trying to work through things, especially relationships, particularly in my dreams?
I'm going to say you're not alone in this, but yes, there's definitely some, like, in fact, as I'm looking at what it's happening to you, I've actually been seeing people with similar things happening to them lately. It's almost, well, okay. So you know how we have angels, and I believe that like some angels have very specific roles and purposes. I even believe that like maybe they're trained in specific things and they can come help people. It can be even as simple as like having an angel that was really good with music and can help, or like someone who a good side spirit teaching and how to help someone with be a muse for someone on earth to have music. Okay, so those are some good things. But the adversary and the dark side also have like kind of stealthy trained spirits in the art of whatever they're trained in. So maybe it's like trained in lust, trained in fighting and contention. So this thread that I'm seeing that is coming at you right now is similar to some other people, and it's in a way, it's kind of a deceiving spirit where it doesn't want to be seen, and it's kind of push down on you and almost like replay any thoughts or fears about yourself. For some reason, they have a very like a reflective energy when they're showing it to a person. So perhaps you're actually getting bombarded with things making you feel insecure, or that you're not good enough, or whatever messages that they would want you to feel bad about yourself. They're kind of mirroring that and pushing down. And this isn't something to be afraid of. This is just something to be aware of and to rise up, because you got like eyes on Christ, like that level of faith, you can overcome this, or, cast out whatever has to come. But just to be aware of them, it's like there's a bigger bark than the bite. Like they want to try to scare you, but really at the end of the day, this particular one especially is just like, you like spy and go, I see you and you're not allowed here, get out. And they're like coming in, kind of just trying to press in on the dreams. Some of the other things with this scenario that I'm seeing is, with whatever you're working on, I'm just seeing some of these doubt these little doubt messages coming in. Oh yeah, I was going to ask Cecilia again. It's like doubt. What else? There was something else there that I saw in that. There's something about your voice in your throat. I'm getting that either you're being influenced to say the wrong thing, or that there's something that you haven't spoken up about. Like there was something that you felt inspired or that you felt prompted to say, and you didn't. You kind of closed the mouth, and so it's blocking it off a bit. So I would recommend kind of looking at that and seeing what is not being said, or are you being tempted to say the wrong thing and you're trying to hold in the wrong thing. So basically it's got to come out no matter what. But if it's not good to say it, then at least release it to the tree or write it in a letter or something. Like still get the words out, but just let it go. Or if it's something you're supposed to physically say to a person, like I'll let you kind of discern there and what that looks like. Also too, I'm getting just like this reminder energy just to let you know that you're doing better than you know. Like you're doing way better than you know, and you're stronger than you know. And that perhaps there's some even messages like making you worry and fear that you're sliding back and, oh no, I thought I got through this and now it's not. Like, and especially dreams can send that message like, what? I thought I worked through it and I didn't. So you're doing better than you know. So just that really feels strongly to tell you that piece, and to also to not be afraid to, I don't know what this means, but it means something. Hopefully it'll make sense to you, but it's like, don't be afraid to go into the dark and to look at things in the dark. It's not necessarily to be dark or whatever, but it's like, don't be afraid to go there and look at it. Like, it's almost like going into a cave with a flashlight. When you've got the light, but there's some things that you've got to go look at in order to have them illuminated for you. I've been doing so much like shadow stuff inside me lately. And I'll tell you what, these big, bad, scary things that you feel are so dark and like so rejected parts of yourself or rejected things in a relationship. But when you go there and you're truthful about it and you can illuminate it, all of a sudden it loses its power, loses its intensity. So just don't be afraid to go into the dark and then bring things to the light, or to shine a light on things and to have difficult conversations, to be very honest and transparent about how you feel and what you think, and just let that authenticity and just pureness heal and dissipate some of the intensity of those scary things that may be hidden in the dark. So I hope that makes sense to you, but it just felt like we can all probably learn from that analogy.
Sure. Yeah. And let us know how that resonated, Alicia. And I'll put this up real quick. Elena actually had this book suggestion. I have another one, Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. So both Screw Tape Letters by C.S. Lewis and the other one, both really great, very interesting insights for sure. So yep, great. Thanks for that. Okay. Next up, Natalie. She says, I hesitate to ask. We're really grateful you do. It's wonderful. Everybody can learn from these things. She says she can use some direction as far as how to make ends meet.
Okay. First thing first, Natalie, I just wanted you to know that you never have to hesitate to ask.
No.
Ever. Like, you are worthy and deserving of every ounce as everyone else. Like, whatever it is in life. And I actually feel like this also goes with the next part of the question about how to make ends meet. Sometimes when we feel like we're, this is an analogy. I'm not saying you're doing this. This is like my words and phrasing for a specific kind of analogy. But sometimes when we feel like we're these beggars and like these orphan children that just have to beg for scraps, and we're begging God to like, please give us the money, but these, like, that can just carry over into so many other areas where we just are always feeling like we don't have enough, right? That's the whole enough. I'm not enough. I don't have enough. I can't be enough. It's just the enough thread, because it feels like we're beggars. And so definitely like the finances, it's so weird how sometimes money and relationships and our own self stuff it's all kind of part of one and the same experience there. So definitely feel like you're worthy and deserving of more, and that you don't have to necessarily ask. It's just a matter of, like, obviously ask to receive. I'm not saying that, but it's not even that you have to just, can I please have this? It's more about You have a whole feast in front of you, and you're like, can I just have this roll? Like, go ahead and take and partake of this feast and this abundance that is available to you. So that's kind of the emotional side of it, and like the state of mind and emotions to be in. And then as far as like, let's look at like the physical opportunities right now I'm going to go beyond even just making ends meet, because that just feels like that's just enough, like barely squeaking by. Like, let's look at some paths for
some thriving instead of surviving.
Yeah, some prosperity. Like, let's see how you can tap into some of the stream of prosperity here.
And I will just also add too, in addition to relationships and self-worth issues, money also can be tied to spiritual wounds.
Mm-hmm.
Like not feeling your prayers have been answered in the past, or feeling like you're under God's thumb or being punished for something. Those can also have an effect as well.
Yep, for sure. Okay, so I can see I don't know who's money making, who's doing what in your family relationship or whatever. So I'm just kind of like looking at where, like what seeds, like where you could pour into to receive a bit more. And there's something, feels like maybe your husband does have a job. It feels like maybe you could pour into that with just encouragement to give him more vitality in life. Like, oh, babe, I love you. Thank you so much for all your hard work. You're doing so good. Thank you for that. Like, it just feels like you could pour into that. And it could just help revive him a bit to have more energy for whatever he's got to do. Like, obviously I'm not looking at his energy, but it just feels like I see your energy. Like, okay, I could pour in here. So pour into your husband. I'm also seeing something in your, like it's in your heart. And it almost looks like moving up out your mouth and even incorporating some energy in your hands. So I'm going to ask, like, what do you do? Like, do you create something? Feels like there's something that you have inside of you that maybe you've dismissed or didn't think it was as valuable as it could be, but it could be something that you could create or express and bring into the tangible world, and people will buy it more than you know. It could be even gifts or abilities. Like, it's something there that you could lean into with some kind of creation and serving others. Then there's also, I'm seeing some past strands. So I'm seeing some like old things that are coming in from behind you that are trying to pull you back. This could be anything from feeling guilty about, maybe you weren't the greatest steward over your finances at some point. So you kind of have some guilt feelings about that. That could be it. You could maybe feel like, well, I've had all of this money stress in the past and it's still lingering and feeling like it's never going to end. It also, I'm seeing some money blocks, beliefs around money, especially coming through childhood and generational lineage. So through your parents, through your grandparents, I'm hearing almost voices of things like being really frugal and, like depression, kind of like make sure you reuse it and use it. And that kind of frugality of like holding on to things because it might go away, or having to work really hard and maybe work really hard on a farm and a land and just barely able to scrape by. Those are some of the generational things coming through. So mental blocks, some generational, release all of these things from the past. Like, let this moment be a moment from here on out. Things are different for money. Whatever's happened in the past is done. Like whatever even happened this morning, yesterday, last week, it's done. So now it's not a matter of, can I have money, but where do I go to get it? Where can I go? I was just telling Christy, I've had this reminder lately. And this is something I've heard even before, like long time ago, I would get this, but it's like, sometimes in order to catch rain from heaven, you got to put your buckets out. So where are your buckets to catch the flow of money? So it's like I was telling her, I'm like, where are more buckets? Like where can we just go out and put buckets to receive? And then you do what you can. Also too, I feel like there's something too to remember that money is just a form of exchange. Sometimes you can sow into and like work over here and you get paid over here, totally unrelated. Like I've had things where I work and then I had a specific like desire of my heart, something I wanted to purchase or invest in. And I'm over here working, thinking I have to get the money for it. Like for instance, an iPhone. When iPhones first came out, I was like, I want an iPhone. And I was like, I want an iPhone. And I just kept imagining, I'm going to save up money for this brand new iPhone. I don't know how many years ago this was, what, 10, 12, 15 years ago, whatever, how old they are. But anyway, I was like, I'm going to have this first iPhone and they're so cool. And I just kept trying to save up money and thinking I had to get all this extra money. And one day I finally looked at it. I had a picture on my wall and I found, you know what? Who says I have to pay for it? Like, why do I have to have like physical money to get an iPhone? Like, I don't even have to. I don't even know how I'm going to get it. I'm going to get an iPhone. And I kid you not, within 2 hours, my husband called me. He had been working with a client and he said, hey, babe, do you want an iPhone? My client has this brand new iPhone, but he's going to get like the new model had just come out. So you can have this one. He's only had a short time and I'm just going to swap him for a little bit of work here and you can have this iPhone. Okay. So just like that kind of stuff can happen. So just don't be attached so much to, I have to work 8 hours at this much money to get X amount. It's like, God doesn't work that way. Quantum creation and quantum finances don't work that way. So what else can you do and how can you put those buckets out to receive and, you know, release anything that's holding you and aligning yourself to receive. So I hope that helps. I feel like there were a lot of people that had similar questions. The money question was on a lot of people's minds. And so Natalie, kudos and thank you for asking that question. I'm really, really grateful for you because that was for more than just you.
Okay. Do we have time for one more?
Yes.
Hey, Melinda. She says, can I ask my purpose for where I live and what gifts I need to share with those I live with in the community? I sometimes wonder if I'm in the right place to share my gifts.
Oh, I love that question. Let's look. I'm going to draw this one though, because I want to see what your energy is doing in your community. Okay, first of all, Melinda, you're a brighter light than you even know. Like wherever you go, even if you don't meet any neighbors, your light is pretty darn bright and you're going to be able to bless wherever you are just by your light. Don't doubt that light. Just keep owning it and shining bright. Even if there's a day where you're just like, I just feel like I'm frumpy. I haven't done my hair and I'm in my pajamas. You could still sit there in your little on your couch or whatever, your living room, and just literally close your eyes and just imagine shining out brighter and you're serving the whole neighborhood. You've just got a very beautiful light. So that's one of the first things to remember that. And then let's look at this here. Your specific community. Okay, first and foremost, like I'm saying, I just see kind of this pillar around you where you're at, like you just can exude out, but I'm seeing very specific strands. So maybe it's not the community as a whole, but I'm seeing some strands, like maybe some specific people. Like there are people that you were meant to interact with, meet, inspire, whatever. So I'm seeing some strands there, especially one strand is really strong. I don't know who that is, but you definitely had someone there that you were, I have a feeling that maybe you've got to know them a little bit better or you've had a couple opportunities to serve them. And then there's a couple other different strands. Also too, I'm seeing some timeline energy here. Kind of I'm being shown that, that maybe there's some reasons that you're there that you don't even know yet. And maybe there's something that you're going to be doing or someone that you will interact with that you'll be able to bless because it just feels like it's there. There's some strands there, but it's like not time yet for it to fully be visible. Also too, I'm seeing something coming out of your voice in your mouth. So whatever this is, and it's coming right from like second chakra through your belly, through your heart, and all the way out. So there are definitely some purpose with expression and creation. In a way, I kind of feel like you have been hunkering in and kind of pulling in, not necessarily like a hermit, but I want to say kind of like a cocoon or maybe kind of like a hermit. Like I totally get this too. Like sometimes I just want to pull in, heal. And there's something about creation. There's some things that you've been working on or creating, maybe wanting to say with your voice. And this time of pulling in and this time where you've been at is a time to build it and to create it. And then when it's time, and it'll be really interesting that when some of this all kind of closes down and it feels like this chapter is over in your life story, feels like you may actually move somewhere else at some point, and it'll open up a new chapter. And then whatever the closing of this one to this new chapter, or maybe just where you're at, well, no, it really does feel like you're gonna, I don't know. I don't like to do future stuff, but it feels like you're going to close up whatever this is, and then something new is going to be opened up. And all of these valuable things in this time period, you're going to be able to use for more expression, more creation. Like they're already done. Like you've been working on them. They're in this gestation creation mode, and it's going to start flowing out of you as this next transition period happens. So anyway, hope that helped.
That's awesome. Well, that is our last question. So if you got a question answered today, please consider paying it forward and share this post on your profile or share it in Messenger. You can tag friends in the post so they can check it out, or you can invite people to like the page, any or all of those things. So thank you so much. And we had a lot of people writing in saying, that was so helpful. Melinda just said that. And so we're so thankful for this opportunity to be with you all and serve you and answer these questions. So hope you make it a great day today and a great weekend. And we'll see you on Monday at 11 a.m. Mountain.
Yeah. Thanks for being here, everyone. See you next time.